I believe I have figured out a new jet engine. Well, I've been saying jet engine. It's more of a ramjet, right? Which is jet engine. It's an engine. It's just not out there yet. It's an interesting concept. I think it's pretty badass. Or, I've been hearing, I saw some videos with pulse jet engines, and I'm wondering if maybe this is the same concept. I don't know. I've looked everywhere online, and there was something that was similar, which is a pre-compression ramjet, and that's what I was sort of trying to figure out in my other video. But this is a whole new, as far as I'm aware, jet engine. So I've been wrapping my head around it, like, can I build this? Probably not. It would cost a fortune. And even if I had the tooling, it has to be so precise, all the parts. I can't afford to build a prototype. There's nowhere to just go and build jet engines when you want to. I want to go back to school for engineering and physics, but you see, you just keep getting trapped like that. So you're always trapped in a freaking paradox. You can have all the ideas in the world, doesn't mean you can go and make them. Anyway, so what it is I'm calling it like a step ramjet, if that makes any, well, after I explain it, it might make sense more. What it does is uses pressure waves of the sound barrier to generate air pressure flow and fluid flow. And so there's an issue in jet engines where there's back pressure flow. And so this design it limits that, it lowers it, but also it solves a crucial issue with ramjets and a crucial issue with basic turbine jets, in that there's always an air pressure flow from cutting the air that resists your ability to accelerate beyond a certain point of the normal turbine. And that air resistance is why ramjets can go so fast, but ramjets have to be at a certain speed. Well, this design, I figured out, I believe, how to beat that. And it's really interesting. I think so, anyway. But I'm not going to draw it out. I could do it on a CAD software. I could design it, but it would take forever. My laptop's old now. I don't like to abuse it. It gets really hot. So I don't have enough safe space to design a turbine on Fusion 360. I used it all up designing escapements. So what it is, imagine the intake for the SR-71, and you take a bunch of these and you make them helically shaped. And instead of turbine blades, you have a bunch of those sorts of intakes. And the whole point is that you're going to spin that to the velocity of the sonic boom. And so your intake is spinning like a centrifuge, and so you're going to generate a sonic boom through your intake, and it'll still function like a ramjet. Once you get it spinning, once you get it built up till it's self-sustainable, that thing's spinning, then it functions like a ramjet hybrid with a turbine. And you can step this up, if that makes any sense, from small, larger diameter intakes. And it would look like a freaking lotus flower or something, it's like 1,000 leaves. It would have a ton of these things, and in different sizes. And then there's also another thing I was thinking about, but I don't know how to explain that yet, is this would allow ramjet propulsion at any velocity, and it would save a lot of fuel. So you would have the benefits of a ramjet. You would minimize back pressure flow, because of how the turbulent streams are rolling through the veins, I don't know what you call them. And then you also, it'd be very expensive to build this engine, but over the long run, it would cut fuel costs over and over and over again. So, it's just like, what do you do with an idea like that? So, yeah, I invent a new engine concept, turbine, ramjet, hybrid, step ramjet thing, I don't know what you call it, but it would still, it would be a self-sustaining ramjet effect, and then you could thrust at zero speed. So the other one that I think online that I read that could thrust at zero speed was the coolant one. So they use compressed hydrogen, right, if I remember right, and that simultaneously cools your in-stream and creates pressure. But I think mine's far more efficient, simpler, definitely better. Like I said, you can't contact Lockheed, you can't contact Boeing and just be like, hey, guys, I got a pretty good idea here. So you just give it out because they'll steal it anyway and make it better. But this is like, I'm not going to start a jet engine business. This is just too expensive. And plus, I don't know, I gotta focus on figuring out how to go back to school, but I think it's a really good idea. So after a certain while, you're gonna have all these like vortexes generated from the speed of these blades on the inside, and then the airflow that goes in around basically. So this thing that spins would be behind a cone too, and so air comes in, it comes around, goes in through the main thrusting section. Well, as this keeps spinning, air is going to, as you accelerate, go around that, and it's going to create sort of like a vacuum, right? Well, that vacuum pressure can be used to pre-turbulent stream the intake stream, or boundary stream, and that lowers friction bias, right? So, and your drag, upstream pressure, backstream pressure, I don't know, but then you can modify that, and it's like a ramjet inside of a ramjet, if that makes any sense. It's pretty crazy how to explain things that are in your brain. Like I said, if I had CAD, I could do it, but I don't have enough memory on my laptop anymore. My laptop's 9 years old. Yep. That's it.